Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bourbon Bar, or should I say the Scotch Bar. I'm holding. That's not Lauren because she's getting herself a drink. But yeah, it's Scotch night, so hoorah! Audio's working. Visually, we're on air, so I guess as far as technicalities go, we're technically live. Okay, so guys, what I have for you today is Scotch, and two of them have been on the channel before, but two of them are new, and I've just been really finally craving Scotch lately, and so I've just been kind of buying one or two, just two here or there. More of the peated realm of things, because I've always had a couple of Highland Scotches, or like lighter non-peated Scotches, I should say. I shouldn't just call them Highland Scotch, because there's plenty of non-peated other Scotches besides the Highlands. But that being said, yeah, I got myself some peated Scotches, and now we get to drink them. Yay! Much happy. Peter White is here. Says, "Cheers, Scotch boy."
Peter. Thanks, Peter. It means a lot.
Sugar Kitty is also here. Good. Sugar Kitty says meow. Hashtag multitasking. Hey, Sugar Kitty, thanks for being here. Appreciate you, as always. DJ D-Rec Whiting is here. Says, "Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you, good sir." Following in your Scotchy footsteps with all these Scotches on the table. Dan Bino's here. Says, "Cheers, Bino in the house." Bino, cheers to you, sir. Welcome to it. Welcome to it. All right. So what we got here today is 4 whiskeys to drink, 4 Scotches to drink. We're gonna go from the lightest to the heaviest. We got Brook Lottie, the classic Lottie, and Glenfiddich 14. These two have been on the channel before, but 2 that have not been on the channel before that I picked up recently. We got the Highland Park Cask Strength. Okay, that one I picked up in Chicago, which we'll be talking about Chicago later on today. Lauren and I went to Chicago. It was a fun trip. We did lots did lots and had a lot of fun, ate a lot of stuff, and drank a lot of stuff. So, but there I picked up this Highland Park Cask Strength. This is a batch 5, I think it said. Yeah, release number 5. And then after I picked up this one and really enjoyed it, I'm like, well, maybe I should get some other higher proof peated Scotch and go up a level of peat. And so we have the Ardbeg Uigeadail. The Ardbeg Uigeadail. So that one, I have drank all of these now. But now I've never drank them like side by side and compared like all the differences between them. And I think it'll be especially fun to do it with the peated Scotches, because since I don't typically drink a lot of peated Scotch, usually. But what are you doing?
I have my game.
My name is Nif. You didn't even say hi to all the people. So let's get these poured, and I'm not gonna do it blind because I definitely want to do the Ardbeg last. I want to work my way toward the peats, and if I did Ardbeg first, I feel like I would just be all over the place with my notes. So we're gonna do that one last. We're gonna go in order as it is shown. Yeah, we're gonna start with the Glenfiddich 14. I think that's kind of the lightest body, lightest notes, and lowest proof. Then we're gonna do Brook Lottie, the classic Lottie.
What if she wasn't classic?
Good question. And then we have the Highland Park 12. Okay, so not 12. Sorry, Highland Park Cask Strength. This is 46%. 43%, so 86 proof. This is 50%, aka 100 proof. The Highland Park Cask Strength is 64.7%. That is 129.4 proof for a Scotch, which is crazy. But one thing I really like about this bottle, besides obviously the fact that it looks nice, can you cover your face? Like, yeah, it looks nice, but also this cork, stay over there. this cork is both a screw off and a pull off cork. So like, I don't know if you guys can see it,
I don't know.
but there's grooves in there, and like you go like that, you can't pull it off like this until you turn it, and then you can pull it off, which I think is cool. I've never seen a bottle with a cork quite like that, so I don't know. It was interesting. First time, especially when I tried opening it for the first time, and I was sitting there and I'm like, yeah, it was confusing, but we figured it out, and now it's cool. So then you put it on, and then turn. So then last but not least, we got the Ardbeg Jugadal, which is Iowa single malt Scotch whiskey, non-chill filtered. This is coming in at 54.2% alcohol by volume. That's 108.4 proof. Now I have had the normal Ardbeg 10. Actually, DJ D-Rec, shout out to you, is who has a bottle of Ardbeg 10. That's where I first tried Ardbeg. But since I've already had Ardbeg 10, I figured I'll step it up a notch and get the Jugadal. I thought about getting the Anoa, but I didn't because I wanted to get a little bit more peat, and I heard the Anoa is a little lighter and on body and peat, and I really wanted to push my boundaries here. So
Why is the Christmas tree still up?
because it's still Christmas.
And why is there no lights on it?
Because we took the lights off. Wait, no, the lights are still on it.
Why
They're
are
just
they
not plugged in. Or are they plugged in and it's just
They're not plugged in. Why didn't you take it down?
what is up there? Honestly, I like the Ardbeg bottles. I like both these bottles, but like the Ardbeg bottles just look cool. The green glass and all that stuff. Also, it smells like Ardbeg in here. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably had Ardbeg. Gotta try to move the computer without shutting it off.
Why does it need to move?
Just need a little bit more room for my mouse. But yeah, so it smells like Ardbeg. It smells like some serious Ardbeg up in here. All right, let's say hi to all the people. Hanging AZ got here. Hanging AZ says, "How are you now, boys and Lauren? How are you now?"
I'm not a boy.
She says, "Good and you?" Oh, not so bad. Hanging AZ, what's up? Thanks for being here. Dustin Bacek is here, says, hello all. Hey man, Dustin, welcome to it. Glad to see you back. How are you doing on this fine evening? Top Shelf Dusty's here, says, then she'd be the new laddie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's not classic. She'd be the
I was
new
thinking
one.
that maybe she was like a little dirty or something, like she wasn't very classy.
The classic laddie, the baddie laddie. Oh, another thing that I picked up that we picked up when we went to Chicago.
Technically, this wasn't in Chicago. This was in Gurney.
That's true. So was the Highland Park, technically.
Yeah.
But we finally got a travel Glencairn holder. So it's padded, and you can fit 2 Glencairns in there. It's got like a little shelf to set them on. You guys probably can't see it very easily, but yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
It's a good idea.
it's cool, and I always bring.
Just think, you could have fucking designed something like this, and we could have been bajillionaires. But no.
I always bring like 2 Glencairns everywhere I go when I bring a bag of whiskey, and I've just been putting them in like the original box that they ship in. It's as much nicer. Yeah,
Ratty.
it's pretty. Yeah, 89 degrees Fahrenheit here. A cold beer is
It
called
was
for.
50 today, and I had to put the air conditioning on because I was sweating in the car.
I will say, I never called Dorsch.
What the fuck?
Tomorrow we call Dorsch.
It's
Although
okay, because
I
next
wonder,
week my mom said I can use.
because if you're not using your heater, and since it's your heater lines, I don't know if it goes. Like if you don't turn your heater on, I don't think it goes through those hoses, which is where it's leaking at.
Really?
Well,
It's gonna get cold again.
Well, I know, but at least for the week, maybe it won't.
We'll find out
leak
because I
as
didn't have
much.
my heater on today, and tomorrow morning.
Well, there you go.
Actually, we should. After this is done, I need to get gas in my car, and I was hoping that you would help me with that.
Help you get gas.
I'll go with you.
I think you got enough gas of your own.
I didn't do anything.
Not today. But hey, hang on easy. That sounds incredibly hot. And even though I was really happy with the weather here today and yesterday, 89 degrees sounds.
I think it's gonna be like 75 when my parents are in California or something like that.
Sounds
I had to ask them like, what kind of clothes do you pack? Like, because like people there think it's so cold. Like, do you get used to it that quickly, or are they gonna be walking around with like their tits out?
That's a good question. Maybe they'll have the tits out. Top Shelf Dusty says they almost got it right. Screw top good, cork terrible. Just give us a plastic screw tops as the whiskey gods demand. Plastic or metal. I like metal screw tops. I think that's maybe even a little step up. Plastic can get old and crack, but metal is good forever. But no, there's something classic about corks, and I know they don't last as long and they won't keep the whiskey good as long. But maybe a synthetic cork with the screw top, good combination, or one of those plastic corks like New York has. The black plastic and then a screw top. I don't know. I think corks are the way to go. I like that screw top aspect. Freaking heat wave, lol. It sounds hot. 44 here. It's Feb after all, says Sugar Goody. Yeah, I mean, 40s and 50s are hot for.
Isn't it so crazy? I'm pretty sure we had like a record low and a record high in the same month this year.
Yeah.
There was like a record low in February and then these last 2 days of the record. Yesterday was the hottest day since 1930. That was the last time it was that warm on that day.
Well, last year, me and my brother golfed on December 28th. We went outdoor golfing.
27th. You didn't go on my
Or
fucking
27th.
birthday. You think that I'm sitting around and being like, yeah, go hang out with your brother on my birthday. Fuck that.
December 27th. It was like 55, 56 degrees. Sunny. The ground was dry because we hadn't gotten any snow. Like golfing outside in Wisconsin at that time of year is crazy.
This year was interesting. We had cold, we had warm, we had snow for Christmas, but then no snow for a month and a half.
Yeah, Robin Whiting is here. Says hello and cheers all. Robin, welcome to it. Thanks for being here. I think Moosehead kills most of the domestic macro beer here. Moosehead, almost like a moose knuckle. Anyway, Casey should be in Arizona golfing now. He should be. I could go golfing. Oogie, 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 gonna get down.
And boogie?
Oogie, 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 gonna get down. Disco Scotch. I was confused there. I don't know if I know the oogie, oogie, oogie. I know the boogie, woogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance. Let the roof on fire. All this Scotch talk, I think I'll have a dram of Ladig 10. Ooh, a wee drammy. Is your dad home?
My dad?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
All this talk of Scotch, I may have a dram.
Well, he's clearly not drinking behind the fucking table.
Well, I thought isn't he gonna be home on Thursday?
He hides his drinks in the
Is he not home Thursday?
circle hole of the carpets or what? I don't know. His schedule is different than it used to be, so I'm not sure. When I was a kid, it was different.
Chicago Doubles. I don't follow basketball. Will pour Tom Do 15 since it's right on my feet. LOL. Hey oh. Tom Do. Casey Tisler is here. Says cheers y'all. Casey. Long time no see, my friend. I swear. This guy. We stopped recording videos for a couple weeks, and this guy thinks he can just not come on the live streams. I tell you what. He thinks basketball is more important than the bourbon bar. But he'll come to the Scotch bar.
Yep.
He'll come to the Scotch bar. Henry Z says, didn't even have to wear my flannel for a hike today. Ooh. I could go for a hike in a nice 90-degree weather, shorts and a tee. Ooh.
90-degree weather and a hike, I'd rather die.
Peter White says, hit 50 in places today, major meltdown. Oh my God, the snow is melting so fast, and I'm all about it. Top Shelf Dusty says, just a freaking high-quality plastic screw top like the Japanese use. Corks are just dumb. Synthetic corks, the glue fails all that. You're right. Like the maker's corks suck.
He might be the most opinionated person I know.
Well, he's coming from fact, and
like
from someone who drinks a lot of top shelf stuff.
Him or you?
Him.
Oh.
Like, it's not something you're drinking all the time, so obviously the less air that can get in, the better. You know, if you have a bottle that's going to sit on the shelf for a couple years, you'd rather it not be contaminated.
We should stop wasting and start drinking.
Solid Vin's Cove uses screw tops. My Alberta Premium 30-year rye has a screw top. Well, there you go. Screw tops are in. I mean, they just feel cheaper, but like, who cares if it's more effective? Okay, let's start drinking. I'm excited. Starting with the Glenfiddich 14 year. This is the I can't remember. I think there might be 2 14 years. This is the finished in ex-bourbon casks one. I think there's 2. I thought I was at the store the other day and I saw 2 of them that were 14 years old. But anyway, this is finished in ex-bourbon casks. So.
You keep moving the table and it's driving me crazy.
Well, you're playing a game when we're live streaming.
Well, what do you want me to do?
We're drinking whiskey here. Tell the people how the Glenfiddich is. How's it smell?
It smells fine. Maybe like grapes.
Maybe like grapes?
Yeah.
That's not a bad no. I could get a little grapey action. I was thinking like light fruit, apple skins, and
green grapes.
Green grapes. Definitely on the lighter side of things. Definitely like a vibrant fruitiness, like metallic vanilla, and just like honestly like an apple orchard. Like the grape note is good. I like the grape note. I can get behind it. It just smells so light and fresh, like morning dew. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like when you go walk outside in the morning and like the ground's still frosty and dewy, and like you breathe and it's just like fresh and like the air is just like got a crispness to it. That's how this feels.
Maybe if you didn't go out there and pollute it before I got out of the house, I'd know what you're talking about.
Maybe if you woke up before 8 o'clock, you would know what I'm talking about.
First of all, I wake up at 6:30. So I don't want.
Okay, the palate of this actually has a little bit of like a chocolatiness coming from the malt in here. A little malty aspect in there. It is sweet, but not like overly sweet. It's like very easy to drink, but not boring. It's really good. As you guys can see, you guys know my bottles don't go down very. I got this for Christmas. Shout out Mr. Jacob Whiting.
I don't
That's
think
how much
Jacob watches. He's probably up. Oh, we're back.
Oh, we're back. Kind of. I mean, I don't know if it's updated in my.
Why did I have to?
We're back.
Why did I have to pause on such an ugly face that I was making?
I don't know. I don't even know what I was saying now. Fucking internet, I
You
swear.
were saying that you're a little bitch.
I am? Anyway, this is really good. Oh yeah, I was talking about how much I drank already. Like that's great. I mean, I did share 1 or 2 drams with a couple friends, but like overall a lot of that was me.
Should we just play cribbage on here?
Oh, we never even talked about like it's been so long since we live streamed that we didn't talk about our anniversary and all the stuff we did. We didn't talk about the Super Bowl. And then our gifts. Lauren got me a cribbage board that says the Bourbon Bar, and that's super sweet. Among a bunch of other things.
I did not make this though, like the other thing I made them, because I tried and the people didn't answer me, and then I got upset. So I ordered it from some random person online, but they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
It's from Maine Wood Signs, so if you need a sign, I would recommend them. It was so quick too. Like I really thought this wasn't gonna come in on time, but they were like boom, 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 and it was here.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was 89 for a high. It was quite pleasant this morning, like 60. Ooh, I love a nice crisp morning air. I've got 600 bottles open. Does she want me to die?
Well, you only live once, so.
And she thought I had a lot of 200. The Fitty 12 was meh. Fitty 12. I mean, I can't say I've had the Fitty 12, I don't think. But the 14's good. So, light, simple elegance would be a good way to describe it. Smells like the pocket of a Scotsman's coat. Wow. Wow. You were saying the Fitty 12 is crushable.
I could crush Holden.
I only have one Fittic, the old 15DE, 51% matte, and then some. 15DE. I don't know what that means, but besides the fact that it's probably 15 years old. It was drinkable, but I like Glenmoe better. See, the only I've had Glenmoe 10 and Glenmoe 18, and they're both very good, but it's been a while since I had those. I don't think we need to anniversary play-by-play, but I'm sure we'll see the kid in 9 months.
Who's?
Dusty didn't want to hear about our sex.
Oh well, they're probably not going to be a kid, but thanks for your optimism.
True. All right, so on to Bruichladdich, the classic laddie.
The dirty laddie.
The dirty lass.
So I found out that. How did I say his name?
Sass.
Something like that. I found out that they call them Sassenachs because in Gaelic,
Sassin.
England is called assassin. It's called Sassin.
Like English. England.
Like England, yeah.
Yeah.
So they call the English people Sassenachs. I'm like, duh.
So what's an ack mean? Or an ack?
I haven't gone that far, okay. But I know that it's pretty easy. I mean, some of it's really hard, but it's pretty easy. A boy is a bollock, which is the same as balls, which makes sense.
Okay, so Bruichladdich, the classic laddie. It's definitely got more of a. I feel like there's more of like a citrus note in here, more of an orange peel like perfuminess, whereas this is a lot more of like a delicate fruit. This feels a little bit more perfumey, maybe orange peel or some kind of fruit zest or citrus zest in here. And the barley comes through a little bit more on the nose compared to this one. The barley I mainly get on the palate, or malt, I should say, not barley. But it does smell good, and then you drink it on the palate, and it's also good.
Did you see that the Bel Air Cantina opened over by Lambeau?
Nice.
We should go. Well, when it closed down, it's going to be so busy.
The palate definitely has more of a barley, malted barley-esque to it. It's more earthy and malty and like dark desserty, maybe a little bit more of a light spice and clove aspect, maybe a little more florally, less sweet, less desserty, and like this Glenfiddich was a lot more easy and sweet and desserty, whereas this is a little bit more character and a little bit more malt aspect, which I think is very, very nice. I don't have any water to cleanse my palate.
I can spit in your mouth. Myrtle can get you some water. Myrtle, go fetch some water. Go fetch some water.
DE means Distiller's Edition. Oh, that makes sense. We had a coyote walking about 15 feet in front of us during the hike. Dogs are going nuts. Coyotes, man. Them things are ruthless. Citrus. I need a classic laddie on my list. I like the classic laddie. Honestly, I do. Myrtle. Derek says a coyote may have been clipped right in front of me on the highway on my way to work.
You clipped it? Or someone strange clipped it?
It's interesting. Do you want anything to drink while I get a water?
I got some.
All right, entertain the people. You go ahead and tell the people. You can start telling them about our trip to Chicago, since I'm going to be drinking that one next.
We drove to Chicago, and then we came home.
Wow.
We drove there in a snowstorm.
Oh
And,
my God, I forgot about that.
It was crazy. I know I'm young, but holy fuck, it was scary. Well, I wasn't scared for my life, but other people don't know how to drive, which is insane. But we made it. It took us an hour longer.
An hour longer?
Yeah.
And
we missed the restaurant that we wanted to go to because we got there at like 9:38 or something like that. We were supposed to get there at 8, and then the restaurant closed at 10. So we felt bad because we still had to park, check into the hotel, and then walk to the restaurant. And it they were still open when we walked past, but it was kind of.
No, they weren't. It was 9 or something. There were people in there, but it was like.
No, you still could have gone in. They closed the doors at 10, but like.
It was 10 or
You would have felt like
something.
a shitty person going.
Yeah, either way. But we found a place to get
we went
dinner.
to a different place. It was still very good. And they gave me a rose at the end of the night. They're like, oh, thanks for being our Valentine. And I said, Holden didn't give me shit. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Gosh, you don't get so angry all the time.
I did get her stuff. She didn't get me this stuff this year. And not only did I get her stuff, but Myrta got her stuff too. And she didn't give me anything.
Something.
Myrta didn't even get me something.
I got you something. It was just a secret for the public.
It was sexy underwear.
That's inappropriate.
Taylor Tizzlers here says, "Hey Lolo."
Hi Tay Tay. Is that Taylor's nickname? I can't remember.
Tay Tay.
There's too many. I can't keep track.
I don't know. Tater Tot.
I think that's what her Snapchat is. I don't think that's. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. I would feel weird calling her
TT.
by a nickname.
But that
Titty. Anyway, he says spring has sprung here. The coyotes are having a party. Do coyotes come in spring? Is that a thing?
I don't know why you're asking me questions I don't know the answer to. But one of the girls I work with lives in a neighborhood, and she's telling me that there's a wolf walking around her neighborhood the last few weeks.
A wolf.
Yeah, she said it's a big black wolf, and she said that now she can't take her dog outside alone because it wants to play with it.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true, but apparently multiple people have seen it. But I don't know. I don't even know where she's from.
Interesting. Top Shelf Dusty says, I feel like I get more scared driving in bad weather the older I get, as I just see more accidents from that. Honestly, and it took us an hour longer, and we were passing so many people.
And we were only going like 30.
We were going like 45.
Not when we were behind the plow.
But there was, we were going 45, but like on a 5-lane wide highway with 1 lane of traffic, the other 4 lanes were just snow that you could drive through. But it wasn't like the slippery, like, you know how like some snow is slippery and wet and like it kind of hydroplanes and slides around? This was like light powdery snow that just like
you just couldn't see the road.
Yeah, you couldn't see the road, but it wasn't slippery. It was like dry, but everyone's going like 10 miles an hour.
And everyone was just in 1 lane. So one person sucked at driving, well, everyone got stuck behind them. And then if you did go around, then that snow had just been piling up.
If we wouldn't have passed people, it would have taken us an extra 2.5 hours probably.
Well, in Wisconsin,
1.
the plows don't like line up and plow all at once. They like send one plow through, and then a little bit later another plow goes through the second part, and then later like that. That's why you never get stuck behind a plow.
Right.
But there they do that. So we got stuck behind these 3 plows doing the whole thing for a good chunk of time.
Yeah. We were going 55.
And then we got we were going like 19.
Yeah, it's because they do plow. So it's just like one big snow over 5 lanes. But like, I don't know, maybe get the fuck out of the way once.
I think that's how most states do it, but Wisconsin does it differently. I'm guessing.
It's dumb because it just impedes traffic. Like,
yeah, I don't actually think you're supposed to pass a plow even in Wisconsin. But
well, if there's more than 1 lane, you can. But you're not supposed to go right next to it. Anyway, I digress. Bugger. I get a 32 for that price. Oh, they're talking about something else. Chris Tatas will be here next. Ooh, Chris Tatas.
He's coming in today, or he's coming to America.
I don't know. It could be either. Richie Z says, cheers, Holden and Lauren and whiskey friends. Richie, welcome to it, my man. How are you doing tonight?
Where does Richie live? Good
question. Richie, I feel like we may have talked about this
but it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Where are you from, Rich? And he says they gather to mate in the spring. At first I thought he was talking about Chris Tatas. I thought he was talking about Chris Tatas, and I'm like, why is Chris gathering to mate in the spring?
Chris has a wife.
I know.
He mates all year round.
Anyway.
That we know.
Coyotes gather to mate in the spring. Huge groups of them howling and yipping at night. Yip. That's funny. Oh, the sounds of sweet, sweet coyote sex. What is this plow thing? Crazy. Yeah. Right?
He's like, he's thinking like, oh, there's soft snow and fluffy snow and dry snow? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Richie's from San Fran, Bay Area, Cali. Ooh.
My parents are going to there next week.
I bet it's nice.
Not there though, like just California.
Yeah, I bet it's nice in California right now.
I wonder if we were gonna go to California, where would you want to go? Like my parents are doing LA and Palm Springs.
I don't want to do LA. I want to do LA. I wouldn't mind going to like SoCal and going to like where's the vineyards at?
That's in Northern California.
I thought it was Southern California. The
No,
vineyards.
Southern California is. I might be
Isn't
wrong,
the Napa
but-
Valley in South California?
No, that's in Northern California. I'm pretty sure that San Francisco and San Diego are like as south as you can go in California.
What? No, San Francisco is in the middle.
Okay, then San Diego is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna look. I've never been there. I don't know. But
Anyway, Doers 18 is pretty good. Can't afford higher. LOL.
Okay. So it's.
Never had it.
Oh yeah, you're right. San Francisco is way up,
Yeah.
and then Los Angeles is more down, but then San Diego is just.
So where's the Napa Valley?
Napa Valley is up here.
Where?
Napa Valley is in Northern California.
Type it in.
I don't think.
Right there, Napa
I
Valley.
don't think Napa is. I don't know if it's the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks like Southern California to me.
That's the camp. I'm gonna punch you.
Anyway, Rich is in SoCal. SoCal. Richie equals Cali. California knows how to party. Australians do mate in the spring as well. Figure it out, bud. Yeah, figure it out. That's what I said. Figure it out. Fuck. Holy fuck. You know what? I need to watch Shoresy. I keep forgetting. Richie is a real life Uncle Jesse. Oh. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna catch up on these comments and we need to talk about this whiskey. You need to do Yosemite and Sequoia.
I want to go on vacation.
We just went on vacation.
What was that noise?
Your cap
Oh,
tower.
my cap tower fell.
Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. When all you never saw were in trouble with the law from the day they were
Look
born.
at this. I didn't know that the map did that.
I didn't know it did that either.
It's still sunny It's still sunny in
That's
Dallas.
crazy. Did it?
Oh,
That's
it's
crazy.
creepy. It's creepy.
No, it's cool because you can see where the
looking at
time
the
zone.
world
Like,
freaks me out because it just reminds me that like there's I'm
look at Europe right now.
Yeah,
It's all
nighttime over
lights.
there. That's got to be new.
That's a new update because my
That freaks me out. The world freaks me out.
anyway.
You know what I want to do? One day we should get like a big map and we should put it on the wall and we should just go and then like wherever it lands is where we go on vacation. Even though I'm pretty sure where I just threw it probably landed in Wisconsin.
Robin Whiting says we are going to be in LA and Palm Springs and areas around there. And there you go.
Well, my short amount of research shows that Joshua Tree is kind of far out. Why did
Sure.
I think that Palm Springs was
The fuck is
on the
Josh?
water? Like it's like just in the
Sugar Goody says another Mr. Geography stream. What is up with us? It's my worst subject,
I
and
actually
we always talk
really
about
like that, but I can't like look at the world. Like if you zoom out too far on a map and it starts to get circular, it starts freaking me out.
it. Just finished the new season of Sorcery. Was pretty good. I need to watch it. Oh, it's Joe Dickinson. It's Dickens. Says the drive into Yosemite is the scariest roads in the U.S. of A.
Well, then we'll take a bus so that Holden doesn't drive. It's already scary enough with him behind the wheel.
Big map. You know how map of the ocean is nothing to stand on. Yeah. What if you hit the ocean?
Not the world, just the U.S.
That's fair.
Because if we do the world, then we're gonna end up someplace scary.
True.
And like, I'd love to travel like all over, but like, I'm too scared.
Isn't there a road where you drive
I don't
through a
wanna
tree? That would be through the redwoods, and like these redwoods, you can drive through a tree. But I don't know where that is. I just know it's in Cali. I did a 3-day junior ranger program as a kid because we stayed at Yosemite for a whole week. It was supposedly comes with an invitation to be a full ranger. That's sweet. That's cool. All right, so time for the Highland Park cask strength whiskey. This is batch number 5. Oh, I didn't even know. Okay, I'm not gonna look at this. I didn't know that this was a tasting booklet. I thought maybe it was just like information.
Wait, when did they change it to Gulf of America?
Like 2 weeks ago.
That's stupid.
Do you know why?
Because Trump made it Gulf of America.
But do you know why? Because there was a law that they weren't allowed to drill for oil in the Gulf of Mexico, but there's no law saying you can't drill in the Gulf of America. So he switched it to basically like be able to do it.
That's so stupid. No, people are gonna start. The world's gonna go to shit because people are gonna start trying to find wrap around things, and then they're gonna start killing people.
Okay, so. Oh, this is just like a whole ass thing. Anyway, I'll look at this after I'm done drinking it, but Highland Park cast strength whiskey, almost 130 proof. This thing smells awesome. It's got a flowery, perfumey, light flower and zestiness, like citrus zest, but also a little bit of like a caramel and vanilla and a hint of a peat smoke in there. I've actually got a lot used to peat smoke because when I first got this, I was like, oh yeah, there's a good amount of peat in there. Then after I got the yard bag, and I was just like, this doesn't smell like peat at all. But it tastes like it, I think. So there's a bit of peat in there, though. Let's get on the palate.
That's not my drink.
Drink that one.
I don't want to.
So there's the peat. There is a considerable more amount of peat in the palate of this one, but it's very much like smoky barbecue, like smoked burnt ends, briskets, and like really like it's got those sweet characteristics in there, but it's got that like smoky meat flavor, which I really like. I always prefer the smoky meat flavors over the iodine, like medicinal smokiness or brininess. But I really, really, really like this a lot, actually. It's super thick, it's super rich and viscous.
La 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 la.
The peat isn't overwhelming. It's definitely got a lot more characteristics than just peat notes. Specifically on the sweeter and almost even got like a slightly fruitier side. But there is like a nice black peppery note, and I don't know what it is, but that bottle right there just makes me want to buy so much more scotch. It's so good. Like, it's so good.
Is that it? That's all you have to say? Would you like a synonym?
A synonym?
Synonym?
So, they have a little... Okay, so this is their releases in terms of, like, how peated it is, what casks they are, American oak or European oak, and then unpeated for, like, its flavor profile. And the first and second releases were American oak on the peated side of things. And then this release number 5 is up in this corner, so it's got good peat and European oak casks. So, yeah. This is not the first Highland Park I've had. I've always talked about how Highland Park 12 is really like, that's my jam for like a nice light peated scotch, like lightly peated scotch. But yeah, Highland Park seems to be one of these ones that I will be buying more of because I like that a lot. I like it a lot, everybody. I like it a lot. Let's see what the people have to say about the Highland Park.
What's a Highland Puck?
Highland Park. If you can go to Chicago, you can go anywhere. It's all safer. Well, New Orleans isn't. Don't get me wrong. You're right. Chicago makes you feel like you can go anywhere. But once you go to New Orleans and the French Quarter at nighttime, past Bourbon Street, then you know what a real danger feels like because Chicago feels like a walk in the park compared to New Orleans. Dusty.
Oh.
Sherry says Kings Canyon Sequoia is the drive you're talking about. Highland Parks are known for their light heathery peat. Light heathery peat. Leathery, maybe leathery peat. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's good though. Well, if you earn a title, people need to respect it. That's true. There's a lovely bit of peat in Highland Park. I do like it a lot. It's so good. Hardly peat at all to an Highland Park. Leather, lavender, floral on it. I do get the floral. I could get the leather. definitely, I agree with the hardly any peat at all. If I were to drink this one first, and especially on the nose, you don't really get much peat in the Highland Park. But on the palate, compared to non-peated things, especially from a bourbon drinker who doesn't really drink peated whiskey, this is just perfectly hit, like Salt Bay of peat in there.
When we go to Scotland, are there gonna be more peaty ones?
Well, I mean, these are all Scotch. The Isla, so typically peated, not the rule, but typical peated things come from Isla, which is a little island over here, and Speyside, which is a little section up here. And then these are all the highlands, and these are all the lowlands. Speyside is connected to those, just like up here. That's can be a lot of peated stuff. And then Isla is a little island over here that's peated. So unless we're in Isla or up by the Speyside, I feel like more of it would be non-peated. But everywhere can make peated, and also in the peated areas that can make not peated. So
I guess.
I'm going to grab Highland Park 12 regular test. Have never tried. I love Highland Park 12. It's such an easy sipper whiskey. I like smoke, just not burnt rubber. Exactly how I was, but I think I'm growing onto the normal peat range. Peter White says the Highland Park cask strength is like PX and bourbon cask. Let's see what the box says. So the box says matured predominantly in first fill sherry seasoned European oak, including Pedro Ximénez casks plus refill casks, ex-bourbon casks, and a small quantity of first fill sherry seasoned American oak casks, all hand selected by Gordon Motion and Master Whiskey Maker. Our Master Whiskey Maker. The Pedro Ximénez casks deliver a distinct note of sweet sun-dried fruits, modeled at a combined cask strength to capture the essential DNA of Highland Park flavor, natural filtered, natural deep golden color, so no additives to the color, which is nice. Tasting notes, that's a fun one. Opens with complex spicy aromas of dried cloves, fresh oregano, crushed pine needles, and lingering wood smoke. I would have to agree. Deliciously intense flavors of sun-dried fruits follow. Prunes, dates, and sultanas, reflecting in the influence of the Pedro Ximénez casks, while first fill European oak casks provide aromatic hints of licorice and winter spices, balanced by cocoa nibs and light oak from the ex-bourbon. A delightfully fragrant and smoky finish lingers of notes of sherry fruits and sweet spices. So, yeah, I don't know. It's good. I don't have enough Scotch background to tell you everything about it, besides the fact that
You're gonna knock this over.
from a bourbon drinker to a peated Scotch, whether you guys want to consider it peated or not, I like Highland Park. Solid stuff. Highland Park's peat level is magical. Can confirm. Really, 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 really like it. Thick and viscous. That's what she said. Ayo, zinger. Bum, 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 bum. I think each batch is changed up. If we're talking about, I don't know, Heathery. Who's Heather? You should also try some Loch Lomond and Ardnamurchan as well. The Loch Lomond is closer to the Highland Park. The Ardna is heavier peat, a roller coaster mix of a ride. Well, I have had Loch Lomond from Mr. DJ D-Rec, I believe, but I have not had the Ardna.
Anyone's had that thing that they had at the restaurant yesterday.
What thing?
That liquor that makes you funky.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, part of me wants to get a Lagavulin 16 because I've heard. Actually, I really just watched like one video from the Whiskey Tribe, but like out of things that you can find readily available on the shelf in a typical Wisconsin liquor store, the peat ranges from like I don't know. I kind of want to try the Lagavulin. I've had the Offerman edition, but that's obviously not their staple. But yeah. Rhymes with leathery, heathery.
Who's a leather and a heather?
And yeah, I'll have to figure out what the Ardna is. I've never heard of that one, but if it's around here, I'd be interested in trying it. There are areas in Phoenix that would make you run for your life, to be fair. Well, there's those areas everywhere, but probably in terms of big cities, I think.
There's some scary ass places out in Milwaukee.
Heather and Pete.
And I don't know if I would walk around the west side Green Bay at night.
Heather and Pete. Who the fuck is Pete? Who the fuck is that guy? Google boy. Why did Marta make a squish sound? I like the maritime salt spray note. So like Lafroig. Are you a Lafroig drinker? Hanging AZ? Are you? Are you really? They're Highland Pete's too? Yes, yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Everywhere can make anything. I was just talking. Lauren doesn't need to understand all the different regions all that well. To be fair, I just looked them up today. So, I mean, I knew what they were previously, but I specifically looked at a map. Like, I could tell you what they were previously, but I could not tell you where they were. Today, I looked up a map so I could see where Iowa was compared to the rest of everything else.
On the geography, like you're talking about?
Well, I've been watching a couple Scotch videos here and there, trying to figure out what to buy and stuff. In terms of readily available stuff, I feel like my adventure into Scotchland, I should get some staples first.
You should figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. That's just I figured it out. Fuck. Highland Park, I believe, is Orkney. Technically an island malt. Okay, well, there you go. Orkney, an island malt. Did not know that. Yeah, Highland Park full volume has hardly any peat.
What's a full volume?
It's a batch that they released. I don't know when, but I did see a review of it come up. I just didn't watch it. But interesting. I don't know. We don't get a crazy amount of Scotch allocations around here. You get the Ardbeg committee releases and some other stuff, and you get some Octomores here and there. But I think I need to work my way toward Octomore, being as it's one of the most heavily peated Scotches you can get, but that's from Berclati, the Octomore.
Is that the fancy one in the leather case?
No, that's Berclati's too, but the Octomore is a really tall, skinny bottle that's super dark. Kind of looks like that, but taller.
Oh, I don't know.
They had some in the cabinet at the wine cellar when we were there.
They have a little bit of everything in the cabinet.
That's true. The wine cellar is a good place for Scotch. That's where I like to go if I'm going to get a Scotch, I think. Park, northernmost Isle of Orkney. Well, there you go. So it is an island.
I want you to ork me too. Sorry.
I don't know about ork you, but I'll pork you. Anyway, Derek Whiting says, I poured a Loch Lomond 18. It's sweet with a nice smokiness. I like a good blend. Sometimes too much peat can be too much for me. Although I have found out after getting this Ardbeg Jugadal that if I stay on the peat train and my palate acclimates. That's the word. That's the A word I was thinking of. Your palate acclimates to the peatiness.
I'm A word, but it's different.
Ass and titties. Richard Z says Lagavulin 16 is a classic. Lag 16 is one of those whiskeys everyone should try once. Well, I'll have to get a bottle then.
He said once.
I might have actually had it. I think you guys have it at
Yo.
Don't you guys have it at the bar, at the brewery?
What one?
Lagavulin 16.
No, we have Benelli.
You used to have Lagavulin 16. I think I tried it there once.
Is that a green bottle?
No,
We
it's
have that. No, I don't think we did. We've had the same ones until.
I think you did. Yeah, it was a while ago. Maybe Heather is the best in leather. Maybe kind of like your patch pod. Never mind.
Okay, you guys are getting too gross with Heather.
My bachelor party.
Sally is getting jealous.
Third hole Sally? Yes, some of the best deals from independent bottlers. State Secret Orkney. Well, there you have it. Man, I need to pour some Scotch now. I know, it's just like an epidemic. Like, why am I so... Like, I've just been craving Scotch lately. I don't know why. And it ain't Scapa. What's Scapa?
Scapa, your papa.
I feel like I need to know these things better.
What
Wine cellar, very nice. I agree, Bina. Wine cellar, very nice. But we have the Ardbeg Yugadal. The Ardbeg Yugadal.
Why do you say it like that?
Go ahead and tell me how to pronounce it.
Yugadal.
Yeah, but it's Uigeadal.
When I get to that part in my Gaelic,
It's
I'll let you know.
Yugadal. The Yugadal.
You sound Japanese. No, that's
I
good.
do sound a little Japanese. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the only time I've had the Yugadal, when I first cracked it open, neck pour, it's actually got pretty low. I mean, lower than some of my other bottles. Drinking it a couple times in the last couple days. But I've been drinking it straight out of the bottle and neck pour. So this has been sitting in the glass now for 50 minutes. I had a chance to air out, not a neck pour anymore. This smells like smoked bacon and like eggs in the morning and like so. When I first tasted this, you can ask Lauren, when I first smelled and tasted it, I wasn't totally charmed by it.
He was scared.
I was scared that it was just gonna like not be okay. Because I've had Ardbeg 10 year and it's very good, but it's a lot lighter than this. This definitely feels more on the heavy side of things. But right now, this has got a little bit of earthiness in the malt, but smoked, fatty bacon and like peppery bacon and eggs. Like, smells like breakfast. Oh, imagine having this. Imagine having like I don't have one yet, and I will someday. But imagine having a flat iron grill. And you go outside in the morning on a summer morning to make like a skillet scramble, and you're just drinking a morning dram of Ardbeg Yugadal.
It has to be Ardbeg Yugadal. It can't be another.
This, I mean, smell that.
Has the smokiness? Oh gosh.
It just, yeah. All right, let's sip it. I will say there's a little bit of a hint of like a vanilla-y note in here. That's, and maybe a light sweetness, like apple smoked bacon. Applewood smoked bacon. Not just burning apples, but applewood. Yeah, let's drink it. I don't know. Huh? I do like it. I don't know how to place notes in heavily peated scotches. Earthy, lightly floral, definitely still smoky. A lot of peat aspect in there. Herbal, like ground spices, like I don't know, parsley. I don't know. Give me a break. My first time trying to place notes on the palate for a heavily peated whiskey. This is apart from Lefroy, which I've only ever had out of a red Solo cup. This is the most peated Scotch I've ever had. Most heavily peated. It does actually have a bit of a vanilla aspect on it. I'm not gonna lie. It's got like vanilla, that light peat. It's definitely heavy peat, I should say. Is definitely coming through. That bacon note dies down just a little bit, but it definitely has some nice like leather, black pepper, spice in it. I think one of the most exciting things about this is how different it is than everything I drink.
Yeah.
even these two, they're somewhat different. But then you get into the Highland Park, and they're like, okay, that peat aspect is bringing a whole new evolution of flavor. And then you get into something like the Ardbeg, and it's just like, it's not even in the same realm as any of these or bourbon. Like, I don't imagine trying to, like, you smell something like this, like a Woodford batch proof. You smell it. Oh my god! And it smells like medicinal cherries and sweet, caramely brown sugar. And then you go into the Ardbeg, and it's just a peat monster, but like bacony, fatty meat brine, like greasy food and breakfast in the morning, breakfast sausage. Ooh. Yeah, I need some more scotch. No offense to bourbon, but after 200 bottles of bourbon, I definitely think it's time that I might start buying some scotches. And quite frankly, there's not really a lot of bourbon coming out right now, at least like new releases. There's nothing that's been like, I need to buy it type of bottles, which is what has stopped me from buying scotch in the past, is the fact that like I can only spend so much money, and that money is dedicated to expensive bottles of bourbon. But now I can get like different bottles of scotch, 50, 60 bucks a bottle, and like not spend my entire life savings on whiskey. And scotch isn't cheap, and I know that, but like honestly, compared to the kind of bourbon I've been buying in the last year or two, scotch is a drop in the bucket. So
My arm is itchy. Do you think there's something wrong with it?
I don't know, but my hand, like, look at it. Look at all of us. Just all itchy and dry lately. I don't know.
I feel dry. It just hurts.
Oh my god. Going back to the Highland Park off of the Ardbeg.
It's spicy.
This smells like freeze-dried candy.
Well, now you know.
Oh.
Oh.
This kind of smells a little bit like a barn, like hay. Like it's got like this mustiness. That? It's not bad per se. It's kind of like it's good in the way that like when you smell a cigar, like cigars have like a barn manure-y smell to them, but like it's really good when they have that. Like it smells good. I don't know what it is, but yeah, no, it's definitely got like a musty hay note.
Marta wants to drink some too.
Marta, you want to try your first peated scotch?
Wait, the people can't see. Oh, he doesn't like it.
Oh, he doesn't like the peated. It's okay, Marta. I have to get used to it too. It's okay. Man.
Nobody can see him because the camera's not facing him.
You can see him right now.
But he's so dark.
Marta, you want to drink some whiskey?
What are you doing?
Yeah, and then if you were to go back to... Oh!
What?
This actually, and I'm not kidding, it's not like when you go from a cask strength to an 80 proof whiskey and it smells like nothing. Going from heavy peat to light, lower proof, delicate Highland Scotch, whatever, non-peated Scotch. This smells like fruit juice. It actually kind of smells like, if you ever drank, so you know, perfect example. DJ D-Rec canned pears, or I mean, he had, no, it wasn't him.
That was your mom that canned the
Dang it. I was thinking it was DJ D. My mom canned pears, or someone did. I don't know. We had canned pears.
It was your mom.
Right? I don't know if she's the one who canned them, though.
I'm
Anyway,
pretty sure it was her.
she gave it to us. I don't know if she canned them.
I think she said it was her. Where's that?
Pears canned, or jarred, whatever you want to call it. A jar of pears. Sits in the pear juice. Dump the pears out and just drink the juice. That is exactly what this glass smells like, which is the Glenfiddich 14. Like literally pear juice.
He's hungry.
Tastes like pear juice. I might as well drink pear juice out of that. Crazy. It's great.
Okay.
I'm having a lot of fun with this. I've drank a lot of bourbon in the last 3-4 years.
I think it's 4 years.
4 years. Well, we've been dating for 4 years, and
Yeah.
I really dove into the whiskey when we started. So
Yeah, I think it's been 4 years this October.
drank a lot of bourbon in the last 4 years, a few ryes, and then an occasional Scotch or Irish. But I never had an appreciation for Scotch. I mean, like all the Scotches that I've liked previously were all non-peated. What I like, and I feel like that's good. It is good. But this is just like, it's like you walk into a room and you're in that room for so long that you could walk around the room with your eyes closed, and then you open a new room and there's a bunch of new stuff in it, and like now you get to like walk around and explore that room.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I feel right now. Oh, the Brook Lottie now smells like butterscotch ice cream, like this smells like ham now. Like ham. Like deli meat ham.
You're starting to get weird tasting though. It's
Smell it. And then smell these and then smell it.
this one smells like grape soda.
Grape soda?
Mm-hmm.
What does that one smell like? Ham?
Not ham. Like the outside of something.
The outside of like peppered bacon? You ever get like that bacon that's like got the crust on it?
No, I don't eat bacon very often.
It's absolutely ham for me. Okay, let's catch up on these comments. I've been in a rabbit hole. Scappa is an orc me to say. Okay.
Yeah, orc me.
That makes sense.
You already read these.
I know, I was just connecting the dots. Whiskey on the West Coast did a 2-hour live stream with 6 different lap care days. Talk about palate fatigue. What's lap care days? I don't know what that is.
I don't know, something cool.
But it sounds interesting. Bacon means it's probably an Isla. An Isla.
Do you like the name Isla?
Yeah. Well, like, for an island of Scotland, not for a little girl.
Oh.
Just kidding. I don't mind the name. You like it?
Yeah, I think so.
Eh,
It can be for a baby that's
I'm down
born
to name our daughter Isla, because then we can just get her into Scotch.
I would be open to if we wanted to redo our names and do them based off of
Whiskey?
whiskeys, yeah.
One of them, what are they going to be named? Fitzgerald?
No, I would say
Fitz?
Woodford.
Honestly,
over
Fitz is a cute
Fitzgerald.
name for a boy.
Fitz is cute, yeah. Woodford is cute. We call him Woody.
I feel like Woodford's not actually, should be a name. We can call them Knob. Slob on my knob, like corn on the cob. Anyway, Peter Wright says, would love to have tried those original Oogies.
We
Oh!
can name it Taylor.
Is Oogie like Oogadol? Is that what an Oogie is?
We could call it.
That makes sense. I was late on the Oogies too, maybe 2016 at the earliest. Huh?
We can name it Blanton.
We're not naming a child Blanton, so we do not need to put them through that hell, okay?
Henry.
We can name one Blood Oath.
This is a stupid name.
Honestly, we could name one Ardbeg.
Oh.
I love
Ardbeg
like
Tilot. We might as well get a new last name to go with it.
I really like
What about Parker? Do you like
the
Parker?
name, not the name, but like the name for whiskey, Ardbeg. Like something about Ardbeg.
We can name one Cask. Cask.
Cask. Berta. Rose. We can name one Rose.
No, it's stupid.
Peat, by its nature, is definitely earthy. Yes, that's
We
fair.
can name one Buffalo.
Or malt. I feel like malt is earthy. I mean, peat obviously is a plant from the earth, but like I feel like malt, but anything that has like a good malt aspect is usually got like a slight earthy undertone, at least for me, and like earthy and desserty. Like, but even when you drink a malted milkshake, I feel like there's a slight earthiness to the sweetness that comes through.
What about some girly names?
Redwood.
That's a stupid name.
What about
Bushy.
Old Granddad? We'll name one of our children Old Granddad. With all the crappy Ardbeg special releases, they should do a 10 to 12 year age stated Corey or Oogie. Corey. Oh, what's?
Oh, we can name one Booker.
Bookie?
Booker.
My dad, the person who used to own Twin Oaks Golf Course, his name was Bookie.
I think that's definitely a nickname.
I've heard of the Corey one. I just can't remember the full name of it. I would love to get more Ugadal, whatever you want to call it. But there was a committee release that I was watching that I heard someone talk about, and then I realized that I recognized the name, and everyone loves it, but I can't remember which one it was. But it was a committee release. It was an Ardbeg committee release, and everyone was obsessed with it, and I can't remember which one it was. There are peated bourbons in American whiskey and American whiskeys. Okay, I know there's... Wait.
Holden's confused.
What peated bourbon is there? I've had like American malt whiskey, which is whatever. But I've never had... Oh, well... Highwest Campfire, I guess.
That's a bourbon? I thought that
It's an American whiskey.
Oh.
It's High West, so it's got to be American. But it is smoky, but I didn't know that was peat. And if it is peat, is it blended with like a Scotch? Or did they make the bourbon out of... Did they peat dry the malt in the bourbon? Or not bourbon, but like... That's interesting. I would like to know more, Mr. Joe. If you like that peppery note, have you tried Talisker? Definite black pepper to it. Yeah, I think Derek has Talisker. We should go to your parents' house after this, if he's home.
Well, I need gas, so...
Perfect. Derek, coming over. I'm going to drink some of your whiskey, and then you're going to drink some of my whiskey. And we're just going to have a whiskey old good time. I can interchange Scotch and bourbon pours, but kind of surprises the palate. Honestly, yeah, that's a huge thing. When I am dieting, like I'm currently dieting right now, I sometimes watch eating videos because living vicariously through someone else is sometimes all you can do. And there's a guy that I watch who does like eating challenges, and he talks about that a lot with like when you're eating a lot of the same kind of food, you get palate fatigue. So maybe his like thing, he has like a container of like ice cream, like a 55-gallon drum of ice cream that he was eating. He would buy like chicken nuggets or something to eat in between it to get that salty palate cleanse, because otherwise you get palate fatigue. Or like sometimes he'll be doing an eating challenge where it's like all salty foods, but then he'll get like milkshakes, and the milkshakes will literally melt. So it's just like liquid sugar milk. But he'll drink them in between his eating to kind of like get that palate fatigue out of his face. Yeah. So that totally makes sense. I will say, having these side by side and then going back and forth between the Highland, non-peated. One of my biggest things is I always call non-peated Scotch. I always call them Highland Scotch at first. And I have to recorrect myself. It's annoying. But anyway, going from peated to non-peated and back and forth is... probably one of the wildest, like this smells like ham, like hickory smoked ham. Okay, the only Ardbeg I have is the standard 10-year. Well, if I come over right now, you'll have tried the Ugadal. And people love the Ugadal. And I know that the Ugadal used to be different, but it still is a staple. I never saw the reasoning for someone wanting to own every ECBP batch.
Tell Holden that 2 years ago.
The reason for wanting to own every ECBP batch is because Wisconsin happens to be one of the first ones to get the ECBP batches, which means if you run a YouTube channel, it's ideal for getting that content out first, or one of the first ones to do it, because you usually get more views because people want to know if they should buy it or not.
My phone died.
Oh, but
I'm gonna go plug it.
I agree. I'd even with the YouTube channel, I'd been buying every ECBP batch, and even with the YouTube channel, I stopped. Like I'm done. Unless I see some review that talks about how fucking good the new batch is and it's the best one ever known to man. Yeah, sure, maybe I'll buy that one, but like it can only get so different. You can only have so many bottles, and they're all good, don't get me wrong. Like it's hard to not have a bunch of bottles of good whiskey, but it's all the same good whiskey or like similar good whiskey. This is like I said, it's opening a whole new door to a whole new reality. It's a really fun. It's really fun for me because I feel like over the last year or so, I've kind of been getting not bored, but I feel like I've tried everything. Like maybe something new comes out and I'm like, oh, I want to try that, or oh, this or that or with the other thing. But like I've always had something similar to the thing I've just had. But in the Scotch world, I haven't had shit. And that's exciting for me.
Don't overdo it. You gotta go to Scotland and you have to enjoy yourself.
Lauren says not to overdo it because we gotta go to Scotland and enjoy myself. But I think I'll enjoy myself more if, think about how much I enjoyed myself in Kentucky. Now imagine if I was like that with Scotch and we went to Scotland.
You have a few years until you get burnt out with Scotch and then you'll make your way back to whiskey.
I definitely have a few. I want to say there's more Scotch than whiskey, but actually I'm not sure about that nowadays. Or more Scotch than bourbon.
Country and whiskey hardly, like it's mostly just a few states and then a few other ones sprinkled in.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Lauren's bleeding.
Is it?
You actually got it on my mouth.
Did it really? That's kind of gross.
Yeah, no shit.
Ew. Don't wipe it on me. Here you go.
Ew, my wife's blood. Ew.
Not the first time.
Anyway, I digress. Yeah, but you start getting into the Scotch, and then you're finding the $750 25-year bottles. Okay, that is something I wanted to talk about, actually, like legit. And Lauren's not in here right now, which is actually the perfect time to talk about it. I so badly want to buy a bottle of whiskey that was put in a barrel before I was born. I am currently 25 years old now. And it doesn't need to be before I was born, but at least needs to be put in a barrel when I was born, or like close to that, which means I need to buy a 25-year-old whiskey. And I ain't fucking affording a 25-year-old bourbon. So, now that I can appreciate a good Scotch, I kind of want to know what is a good 25-year-old Scotch like for the money. Obviously there's some Scotches that are 25 years old that are like stupid expensive. Like there's a Macallan 25 or a Macallan 30 or something at a store that I go to that's like $5,000, and I'm not gonna do that. But like a couple $100. Let's say like a $300 for not 400. Like $300 limit. Is there a 25-year-old Scotch that's decent that I can get for $300? Because I'd be all over that. I really want to have tried something that was put in a barrel before I was born. Apart from like, I should rephrase that. I want to try something that has aged as long as I've been alive. That. Because yes, I have had dusty bottles from before I was born. Shout out to Bust Up Ben on the Dusties. So good. And that was really, really cool. But I want to have... It's not even like, I don't know what it is, but I just want to drink something that has been in a barrel as long as I've been alive. I feel like I'm getting on the ass end of availability for that. I mean, the longer I wait, the more expensive it gets. Fuck if I'll find a 30-year-old Scotch that I can afford when I turn 30, you know? So 25 is kind of my limit. So I have basically until August to find a 25-year-old Scotch that I can afford. That's going to be decent, good, you know? So anyway, that was my little rant for you about 25-year-old whiskey. That's me, Buddy Pawpaw. That is Beano's Buddy Pawpaw. Pears are a constant note in a lot of Scotch. I believe it. Pear and or more of an apple in quite a few Highland Scotch. Lots of reflux in the stills that do that. Interesting. Bruichladdich is a good distillery. It's such a good distillery. Now that I've appreciated this, the Ardbeg Udal, I would like to, one more time, try Laphroaig. Maybe try Laphroaig next to something else. And then maybe in the future after that, if I can get past Laphroaig, the peat level of Laphroaig, maybe I would like to get a bottle of Octomore. I don't know. I feel like I've heard good things about Octomore. I know it's super, super heavily peated. Gotta come back on the stream so we get more viewers.
I'm ready to go.
But yeah, we're an hour and 16 minutes in. Oh, hey!
What?
But I literally said Butt Stuff's name and he materialized into the chat. Corey Brecken. I feel like I've heard of that for sure. But there was an Ardbeg committee release that was super, super popular. I feel like. Popular enough that I knew the name of it, and it was not the Corey Brecken. It was... I just watched a video where they talked about it today, and I can't remember what it is. You can't find it anywhere apparently. Man, I want to know so bad. Hold on, that might be in. What if I looked up what the best Ardbeg is? Ardbeg. Anyway, I'll find out later. Butt Stuff from Louisville. Ben's in Louisville. Ben, cheers to you. How are you, sir? Welcome to it. We're about to log off, but I'm glad you were able to show up. Kings County Peated Bourbon. Kings County.
It stinks in here.
Like peated Scotch?
Yeah.
You can
Really
smell
bad.
peated Scotch like from a mile
I
away.
can smell it right here, but the second you touch the door.
Oh, I would love to try a peated rye. I never even like peated bourbon, yeah, but like I feel like peat and rye would maybe go together a little bit better. Peated bourbon I've yet to try, but sounds unusual. It does sound unusual, doesn't it? I own a bottle of this oddball bourbon, and there's like, it's a Heaven Hill 2009. Oh, so it must be peated or something. I'll have to open that link later, but interesting. Well, maybe I'll open it now. I know Lauren's itching to go.
Where did this come from?
I don't know. Maybe Murtup.
It's from you. Let's be honest. You won't say.
Can you come back in here?
I'm ready to go.
I feel like you're rushing.
I'm not trying to rush, but if you want to go over there at 7 o'clock.
Heaven Hill North Star. Interesting.
Guys, I have
Cast
bedtime.
series. Finished in Ardbeg Hogshead. Ooh, interesting. Anyway, the reason to have and try every ECBP batch is happiness. That's fair, Ben. That's very fair. Why did you get mostly peated Scotch?
Because it's nuts.
Me? I wanted a good variety. I mean, I got super Highland, and then I got like super unpeated, and then I got unpeated but still like a little bit more malt influence, and I got lightly peated, and then I got heavy peated. So I think I did a good spectrum. I believe I have probably underwear older than you, Holden. Well, that's fair. Forget McCallum. No, I agree.
Purchase
Fuck
some new
McCallum.
underwear.
$300, maybe Glen Farkless 25. Is that a solid one? I'd have to look at it. Glen Goyne 25. Did you hear what I was talking about earlier?
Yeah, you're gonna shit on someone.
I wonder what an Ankanack 24 goes at the moment. Well, I missed the 24 year by a year. We need at least a 25 right now. Glenn Goyne 25 is about 600.
Holy fuck.
But you can't afford the best Ardbeg, I believe. Well, there's a 25 year Ardbeg. Good luck with that. I saw them review it today on Whiskey Vault. It comes in a sick ass box and it's got like cloth, and I'm a sucker for a good story, and I know that a lot of the Ardbeg committee releases get a lot of shit, but like I'm a sucker for a story. Like if it's a cool Ardbeg committee release, I'd consider it if it sounded good. Sounds like Dark Cove. I have heard good things about Dark Cove. Maybe it was Dark Cove. And the ratings went up just like that. Yeah, I know, right?
What did I do?
Anyway.
I hope
All right.
my dad kicks your ass when we get over there. Objectifying me.
Yeah, who needs to do homework anyway?
You.
So I think
homework that's due?
not really.
Not really, and no.
I have a very little bit of amount of homework that I have to do by Thursday, but it's just a small amount, so I can do it
Good thing
tomorrow.
I'm not going to be here.
Anyway, do you like my tricep muscle? Anyway, yeah, so an hour and 21 minutes in. This has been the Scotch bar, not the bourbon bar, but the Scotch bar. I appreciate you all coming out tonight and talking about some scotches with me. I'm definitely a novice when it comes to all things Scotch, but it is going to be a fun journey that I'm going to go on, getting to explore all these scotches and getting more. So it's definitely 2025, is it? Yeah, 2025 is definitely the year for Scotch here at the Bourbon Bar. So I hope you guys are all at least a little bit interested, and I will still be doing bourbon stuff. Obviously, we are the Bourbon Bar, but there's going to be a heavy dose of Scotch in the future, I think. So
But we'll see. There'll be a lot of Scotch in September of 2027
oh, because we're going to go to Scotland.
and August of 2027.
There you go. The ratings. You two are the cutest in the Whiskey Tube.
What about those one people? Doesn't
I don't know
someone
which one people you're talking about, but
Doesn't
we're the
someone else-
cutest. He said it. You heard it from him
Doesn't
first.
someone else stream with their wife? Or no?
Yeah, there's a few that do.
Yeah.
Get some Space Side next time. Oh yes, I wanted to know what good Space Sides there are.
Okay, well we can figure that out.
But I'll do some research. Independent bottles of 25-year Scotch is your best bet. Like what if I did like a 25-year-old Scotch Malt Whiskey Society? That's a thing, right? And their stuff is a little bit cheaper, right? But it's still good. It's just that part of me would want it to be a little more special. If I'm gonna spend that much money on a bottle and have that much like oomph to it for a specific reason, I feel like it's got to be a little bit more special. But Space Side with Pete would be Ben Romack. Okay, Ben Romack. Okay, I'll have to look for it. Holden in the future, taste and compare different Scotch regions.
So are like pears grown in Scotland or something?
Huh? Taste and compare, not pair.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually. I'd like to really do a side by side of Space Side and Isla Scotches.
Well,
No, it's not cheap.
next month.
Oh, well.
Stay tuned.
With Scotch, it'll never be cheaper. That's fair. Balvenie should be the easiest to find. I think Derek might have Balvenie. I guess I'm going to go find out. But that being said, thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate you all. Love you all. And make sure you're going to check out all the other people, part of the TGIT crew. Usually 21090, sometimes My Bourbon Journey. Sometimes it's Bad Axe Bobby. Otherwise, the Bourbon Junkies. I'm sure Sugar Kitty will put someone in the chat for you guys to click on next. But again, thank you all so much for being here. Hit the like button on your way out, and we'll see you all in the next class. Cheers. Oh yeah, wait, no. Thanks for checking out the Scotch bar. Slanja. Bye.
Peace out, bitches.